The 11th annual Burnell School Road Race, which took place on Sunday, October 21st, was marked by two exciting finishes. In the girls' 1 mile event, Rachel Gallagher and Jennifer Faniff, both of Williams School, ran neck and neck down the final straightaway, with Gallagher finally pulling away to a 4-second victory, 7 minutes 11 seconds to 7 minutes 15 seconds. Gallagher's win marked a major step up from last year's 6th place finish, while Faniff improved from a 20th place finish in 1989. Here are the top 10 girls, followed by the top 3 in each age group.
It's time now for some entertainment. Okay, I thought you'd never ask. Dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh. No, Kim, that's not what I had in mind. Here are Keith Ledeen and Rachel Carter to introduce this year's Burnell dancers at Winterdance.
Hi, Rachel. Did you enjoy the winter dance last night? Yeah, I thought it was really a really good experience to dance with the college students. I did too. I liked some of the dances. I liked the 5th or 6th grade dance, how the song was Lean on Me and how they leaned on people. Yeah, I liked that too. That was really neat. It was kind of sad. It looked kind of sad with the song, didn't it? Yeah. And I liked Mr. B's dance, how the guy jumped through the paper. Oh yeah, I did too. I thought he fell. I was like really out of my head, you know. I thought this guy wasn't supposed to do that or anything, but he really was supposed to. And he looked like he was having a lot of fun doing it. Yeah. Jumping through paper. I like the dances he did behind it. Yeah. I liked the witch dance with the witch in it. Oh yeah, I did too. They had a lot of shapes, and I like how the prince died in it, and he was coming back to life, and they had a lot of they had a witch in it, and they had a lot of girls dancing, like ballet students. Yeah, I liked how they did like the toe dancing. Yeah, they had a lot of that in there. A lot of ballet. I enjoyed our dance a lot too. That was fun. Oh yeah, I did too. I mean, it only took us about 3 or 4 weeks to learn it, right? Yeah. And if Mr. B wasn't too hard on us, he was very easy too. If you or anyone you know has been watching the news lately, you should know that we have soldiers in Saudi Arabia. Chris Corbett, a former Bridgewater State College student, is in Saudi Arabia right now as a soldier. So Miss Wyman's class and others are writing letters to Saudi Arabia in the boats in the Persian Gulf.
We're gonna have a concert. Well, at least in some trees.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm here with
Adam Lucia, Melissa Boudreau, Nicole Jankowski.
I'm gonna read a letter that Nicole got back from Saudi Arabia. I just received a whole bunch of letters from you and your friends at Burnell. I gave them all away except for one. I kept yours for me. You sure do ask a lot of questions. Let me see if I can answer them all. First of all, I'm Sergeant Nick Rubello. I've been in the Marines for 8 years. It doesn't seem like that long, and I know Bridgewater very well. I'm from Taunton. You know where that is, right? I grew up in Taunton, and I lived there until I came to the Marines. Nicole, did you like receiving letters from Saudi Arabia?
Yes, I liked it very much.
Were you expecting to get a letter back?
No, not really.
Why weren't you expecting to get a letter back?
Because most of the kids in my class didn't get letters.
Were you the first one to get a letter?
No.
Adam, did you find anything like really interesting in your letter?
Yeah, the guy that I wrote to, Raymond Gann, he had 28 years
and he was a master gun sergeant.
If Dr. King were alive today, I wonder what he'd say about the war in the Persian Gulf.
He'd probably be against it because he was against violence.
A group of 5th and 6th graders got together in the TV studio to share their thoughts and feelings about the war. We think you'll be interested in what they had to say.
Hello, I'm Stephen Neumeister, and this is the discussion group for thoughts about the Gulf War. And I'm going to ask them some questions about opinions and feelings about the war. Okay. Do you think Saddam Hussein is going to use chemical warfare during this war? April?
I do, because I think he's going to use all he can.
Okay. Mark?
I think he will, because he's been hiding the chemical weapons in like civilian sites, so we won't really bomb it.
Did you have something? No. Okay, and how do you feel about the oil spill in the Persian Gulf? Danielle?
I feel bad because of all the animals and the people, and the way they're not going to be able to have drinking water. And
Yeah. Adriana?
they're not going to have drinking water because they use the Gulf, and
That's where they get that water from.
Okay.
Don't they wash their clothes in that water too?
Yeah, because we'll be selling it.
Okay. And do you think we are going to lose a lot of people in a ground battle, or Chris?
Yeah, when they shoot like chemical weapons at us, then they'll get some of our people, but then we have some other kinds of weapons than they do.
Elise?
Well, most of the wars, like the other wars that happened, most of them died, but also some committed suicide. But I think a lot of people will die. And here's Danielle Boudreau and Kristen Canterbury to find out what you think about a very serious subject.
Did you know that 3 times the amount of people in Brockton die of smoking each year? If someone in your home smokes, you can get many diseases like bronchitis and asthma. Also, 5 million teenagers are regular smokers. Here are some good books for you to read so you can find out information on smoking. Know About Smoking by Margaret O. Hyde. Smoking and Health by Brian R. Ward. Tobacco, What It Is, What It Does by Judith S. Seix. Smoking by Sherry Sinnett. We came to the Burnell School Library to ask some kids some questions about smoking. I'm here with Greg. How do you feel about smoking?
I feel that people should not do it around other people, and it's bad for your lungs. So,
Would you ever try smoking? Why not?
I wouldn't try, because if like I tried it a couple times and I get addicted to it and I keep smoking, and then really get, like, it'd really be bad and I get all kinds of lung cancer and stuff.
If one of your friends smoked, how would you feel? Would you still hang around with them?
I would probably still hang around with them, but I'd just tell them if they wanted to be my friend, then they just wouldn't get me involved with smoking and stuff.
If one of your friends smoked, how would you feel? Would you still hang around with them?
No, I wouldn't, because they're going to probably ruin their health and die.
Do you know what effect smoking has on you?
Yeah, it gives you lung cancer and a lot of other stuff.
Do you think smoking is cool?
No,
Why not?
because nobody should be smoking. It kills people.
How do you feel about people smoking around you? Would you stay in the room?
Yeah, most of my family smokes, so I have to get used to it.
Do you think smoking is cool?
No.
Why?
I really don't think it's cool to be killing yourself.
Thank you for letting me interview you.
I don't know about you, but I was glad to see so many kids saying they'll never smoke. We really hope it's something you'll never do, too.
There are lots of dangerous things in the world that we kids will have to make decisions about.
For kids, the war in the Persian Gulf was our first experience with that country being at war.
And we hope it'll be our last.
Last month on Big Best, you saw a panel discussion by 5th and 6th graders on the war, and we showed you an art exhibit with our paintings about the war.
The Boston Sunday Globe was also interested in our exhibit, and they interviewed Mr. Crow and several students for a major story.
Now that the exhibit is just a memory, we've asked Mr. Crow to help us take one last look back.
Hi, my name is Joe Ladine. Mine's Amanda Wood. And this is our art teacher, Mr. Crow. Mr. Crow, about how many people showed up at the opening of the art gallery?
Well, we had about 300 cookies eaten. And so I think, I estimate about 150 people, and I think some people ate more than their share of two, but we had a great opening, we had a good turnout.
What was it about?
Well, it was about several things. Every first grader showed a color mixing painting, starting from very elementary color mixing exercises and working towards very complicated color mixing concepts. And every 5th and 6th grader showed a painting of what started out to be the Iraq-Kuwait situation, later escalated into a war, but we started them sooner. One painting by every 5th and 6th grader. And then on the far side of the gallery, we have banners made by Mrs. Waterman's 2nd grade and Dr. Farah's 5th and 6th grade. They worked as partners to create these. And that was a combination art and language arts lesson.
Do you think it was a good idea to do pictures about the war?
Well, a lot of students were talking about the war and their concerns about it. And I felt, and I had done some reading, that students, it's really important for students to be involved in some way, either writing letters or involved in some type of project. So I know that students left, even they were dealing with very serious issues of war and peace, but they left feeling good. I think it was a good project to be involved in during a very disturbing time.
What pictures were you impressed with?
Well, I was really, I have to tell you, impressed with all of them. We talked about being visually brave and trying some things with paint, maybe that they hadn't tried before, and we talked about if people are over there being brave for us, then the least we can do is be brave with our paintings. So everybody was brave. I think everybody did a great job, and that's why I showed every single one. But maybe I'd like to talk about a few examples of the way students approached it. Austin Glass, if you remember, on the far right side of the gallery had a beautiful realistic painting of the peaceful desert before war broke out. And at the same time, we have a list here, Nathan's painting, who painted a realistic painting, but it was a very disturbing war picture. And in the center, there are a number of paintings that people might think look like scribbles or paint thrown on pieces of paper. But they were very carefully considered, every color, every drip of paint, every texture that you see, and they were to represent peace, war, or diplomacy. And we have two examples of those. One was Jen Burnham's, who did a beautiful piece-like non-objective painting, and the other, Danielle, you can see that one. It has incredibly violent sort of colors and very disturbing marks and shapes in it. And like the term says, those are non-objective paintings. That means there isn't an object. Even if you look closely, there is not a single object in them. Then finally, on the far end of the gallery, we have some abstract paintings and some paintings of students' nightmares and dreams about the situation. And Jane Garrison has an incredibly scary one with a skull sort of looming over these people, stick-like people falling below. It's an abstract painting, but very, very disturbing. And finally, we have Andrea Estes. She, you can see, has a young girl sleeping in a bed, and she has two soldiers below her pointing to a war map or war chart of some kind. And so the whole exhibit was about different approaches to art, from very realistic images to abstract images, non-objective images, or dream-like images, what our dreams and even nightmares in this situation were about.